The time is here. This is the last week to get entered for the K24 Swapped EP3. Giveaway ends on the 18th, so if you haven't gotten your entries, now's the time to do it because this is the last week. I have more shirts available on the website than I have ever had before, and I just released a ginormous sticker. A lot of people have been asking for a larger sticker, so I have one up on the website. I've literally put it on almost all of my vehicles now. This sticker's only going to be available for the last week of the giveaway, and it is double entry. Stack them up while you can. You're not going to want to miss out on this. Now on to the video. What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, man. So starting off, I wanted to get this sticker put on the Blazer. I know you guys already seen a clip of it in the beginning, but yeah, I'm just now getting around to getting it applied to the Blazer. But I wanted to do a little bit something different. I didn't want it to be just so bright white on there because, you know, the Blazer kind of has like a rustic look to it. So instead of actually weeding the sticker out, I left the vinyl complete. Right now the sticker is cut, but I left it just a square and applied it like that so that I can go through and do what you're seeing. I scuffed it lightly, hit it with some adhesion promoter, and then just kind of misted it with a couple of different colors of paint, spray paint. And now, whenever I go and get it all peeled off, it's just going to have a little bit more of like a weathered look, I guess you can say. I don't know. Check it out whenever it's done. I think it came out pretty cool. Back to the channel, man. So you guys are gonna have to put it down in the comments if you want to see me put these ginormous Deadbeat stickers on the website or not. I don't know if you guys want that. That's in comparison to the original size. I mean, those are still available, but I don't know. Do you guys want these giant stickers? This one I made for the EP3. It's gonna be going right there. So whoever wins the car, you're gonna already have one. And I put this one on the Blazer, but I didn't want it to be so bright white. I wanted it to be a little bit more dull, kind of, you know, like weathered looking like the Blazer is. Plus, I didn't want this sticker to be all bright white and take away from my bear sticker, you know. So now the bear sticker still stands out. Got one on the back of the cat eye as well. Anyhow, today I get to have a whole lot of fun. We got to rip the transmission out of the EP3. Get this thing down. We're gonna be working in the garage today. I need to put a new clutch in it, so this is exciting. I was kind of waiting for the sun to go down so it'd be a little bit cooler outside. Dude, last couple of days it has been like 118 degrees here. It's been ridiculous. But anyhow, if you guys didn't see in the video where we're working on Braven's truck, because it was kind of towards the end of the video, I ended up picking up a new clutch. So this is a Clutch Masters kit. This is what's going to be going inside of the EP3. Definitely needs it. I saw in the comments a couple of people had mentioned, like, doesn't the thing need a clutch? Yes, yes it does. And I told you guys I was going to put a new one in it. And here we go. We got to get started.
To the end where I need it. Here in the little creek bottom. There's actually a pretty deeper in there. It's like room or something. And long we end up trying to cut it. But this other
I am this close to being halfway through this. So as soon as I get that old clutch off of there, we are exactly halfway through the entire process. Having to drop the entire subframe and all that always seems kind of intimidating. But honestly, that was the easiest part. Really, honestly, I can't say that there was a hardest part, man. This car is so easy to work on. Like, I don't know why it is that this chassis has gotten so much hate over the years. I don't think it's as bad now. I think these cars are starting to get rare, so they're starting to get popular. Well, I wouldn't say popular. People are starting to realize their value a little bit, you know, or they're gaining value. I don't know. Either way, dude, it's been a pretty easy going process. Right now, I think it's about midnight. I have the garage door shut, and I have my AC blasting in the house, and I have 2 fans sitting in front of the door, blowing the air conditioning out here, and I just got in the zone, dude. That's the reason why I didn't record a whole lot of taking it out and playing some Puddin's Fab Shop in the background and chilling with King Arthur over here. So you guys haven't met King Arthur yet. We had Henry for a while. Henry did pass away, and I want to say it's probably been 2 months or something like that. It's been a while since Henry passed away. As you guys know, that bird flu thing was going around there for a little while. I don't know what happened, honestly. There for like 2 or 3 days. He was like pooping a lot and got up one morning and he had passed away, dude. He just croaked over, and it was really sad. It really did break our hearts. I don't come across that way now because it has been like 2 or 3 months since. We constantly go to Pratt's, and whenever we have to go and buy worms and stuff for the dragons, and every time we go, we look for a silky. And this last time we went, they had 1 silky, dude. And you know what's crazy? The guy was still there who had dropped him off. He was in the cage out there with the other roosters at Pratt's for probably 2 minutes. And we walked in and saw him, and I'm like Bogart in the cage, and this guy's like, "Oh, you're looking at my silky?" And I was like, "What do you mean you're silky, buddy? We're getting him." He's like, "No, I just adopted him right now," or donated. Pratt's, you can like sell animals to them, so I don't know what that'd be called. I just sold him to them, but anyhow, yeah, we've had him for, I don't know, it's been about a week now, I'd say. And he definitely has a very different personality from Henry. He is not afraid of us at all, and I don't know, he's a lot less skittish. Like, he's not as afraid, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we were struggling with a name for a little while. Braven's first thought was King Arthur, because we're trying to keep up with the theme, you know? I kind of wanted to do King Henry II. So we're not dead set on a name yet. But if you guys can tell, he's like orange, like brown, orangish, reddish. Like, if you see him in person, especially when the sun hits him, he has like a fiery look to him, dude. Like, it's really cool. What's up, dude? What's up, dude? What's up? Yeah, if you guys want to throw recommendations in the comments down below for his name, we were thinking Rusty. A few of the names we came up with, Jessica and I, and Braven's: King Arthur, Rusty, because he's kind of a rust color. Jessica came up with Ozzy, you know, because Ozzy just recently passed away. Kind of to name him after a king, you know. Phoenix was another name because he's kind of like colored like fire, you know, and Phoenix is hot. What else? I know that there was a few other names, but yeah, if you guys have any recommendations, most certainly throw them in the comments down below. He's definitely been an awesome dude. Come here, buddy. Come here. I'm gonna set you down here and then move my hand around. Bow. There we go. So, what's my name, man? Either way, I am the king and I am royalty. So bow down to me, peasants. So I have actually had this clutch out before, because as you guys know, we've swapped the transmission on this car before. I don't remember that this thing had a 6-puck unsprung clutch in there. I don't think it ever really felt that aggressive, but anyhow, that's what was in there. 6-puck unsprung. Yeah, I mean, the pressure plate has some heat marks on it, but more than anything, it's just the damn clutch is all worn down. The pads are just pretty much gone. So definitely a much needed maintenance upgrade. Putting a new clutch in this thing. Bang, bang. So now it's gonna have a 6-puck sprung clutch. So it shouldn't be crazy aggressive, but I guess this clutch is good for up to like 600 horsepower or something like that. So there you go. Alright, so I'm not gonna lie, I actually seen that on a reel and I wanted to try it. I'm thinking to myself, I mean, there ain't nothing stopping this thing from starting, and being that's a K-series, the starter is on the engine side. So yeah, dude, I jacked the engine up to where it's sitting, you know, kind of level. Fired right up, bro. I'm like, oh shit, where's the grinder? The flywheel just had some heat marks in it, you know, and just skimming over it like that, it's all nice and smooth. And yeah, it honestly, whenever I had a flywheel resurfaced the last time, this is exactly what it looked like from the machine shop. It literally looked exactly like that. So anyhow, resurfaced our Lighten flywheel. Dude, I don't know what brand that is. I think it's competition. I'm not 100% sure, but at least it does have a nice Lighten flywheel on it. So let's go ahead and get this clutch slapped on there and get this thing put back together. I knew it was gonna fit, but I always double check. I feel like you learn that the hard way once, and then from that point on, you always check. It's now the next day. I ran into a problem last night. You know, it's a really stupid problem to have, but it's a problem nonetheless. Plug our freaking light back in so we can see underneath there. Oh, a couple of my pressure plate bolts broke. They snapped off, and yeah, this one and that one. So we're gonna need to pull the flywheel off so I can get those out. So the problem is those pressure plate bolts, they're so long that they stick out of the back of the flywheel. And I noticed this whenever I went to go and take it all apart, that the bolts would come out easy until the last few threads, you know, then it'd start to kind of bind. And it's because those things stick out of the back, they have a bunch of buildup on them, you know, like kind of like you get brake dust. Well, the clutch puts off that same kind of dust, and especially since it's been like kind of worn and slipping, you know, so there's a lot of buildup on those threads that are sticking out of the back. So whenever you go to bring them out, it's bringing all that buildup, and they were just I think it kind of chewed up some of the threads on the bolts, you know. But yeah, and then putting it back in, I noticed one of them was real tight, so I tried to get it back in there, and then it snapped off. So then I went to go take everything back off, and one of them that I already had in snapped trying to take it back out. I'm like, bro, oh my god, man, it's always got to be something. And then of course I didn't even have for whatever reason, I didn't have a 12.17 mil, so we ran down to AutoZone to go and get one of those so I could actually pull this guy off of here. And now I'm having this problem where nobody carries the bolts that I need for the flywheel, or for the pressure plate to the flywheel. Like, nobody has them. Yeah, so that's my mission today, is to try to find new bolts. And I gotta pull the flywheel off, and I don't know if I'm gonna have to weld some nuts on there. I don't know, we're gonna have to do something to get those out. If not, then I'm gonna have to replace the flywheel, probably with a factory one, and I don't want to do that because, you know, it's just gonna be better having a Lighten flywheel on there. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this thing off really quick. And I think it'd probably be better if I take it with me, because I'm gonna run up to Speedway. I know they don't specifically have or pressure plate bolts for a 04 whatever, you know, Acura RSX K-series, but they might have some pressure plate bolt or pressure plate bolts that just are ARP for something else, and I'm gonna see if they can't bring some out and then try them and just see if the thread pitch and everything is the same, you know. That's kind of my only option. Other than that is to order some and wait. And I don't want to wait because I want to get the clutch in today, you know? I'm back. Went running around. Let me tell you, if you guys have a Honda, you're not going to be able to buy pressure plate bolts at AutoZone, O'Reilly's, Speedway, Lopers, JDM Hotline, Napa, ran out of fingers. You're not going to be able to buy them at any of those places. The guy at AutoZone recommended that I go to the hardware store. I was like, bro, really? Did you just say that to me? Anyhow, what I'm probably going to end up doing is pulling the pressure plate bolts off of the clutch that's on Khaki's old engine. But I'm not even gonna worry about that right now. Right now I need to get the broken ones out of our flywheel. I'm hoping I'm not gonna have to weld. I'm gonna try vice grips first because luckily both of them, this one is sticking out a lot out of the front and the other one is sticking out a lot out of the back. So I'm gonna try to get those out first, and then I need to chase these threads and clean them up, make sure that this isn't gonna happen again. And then we'll move on. I'm not having a good day. Honestly, I'm not having a good weekend. This should have been done. This should have been done the same night. You know what I'm saying? Should have been done the same night, and here I am Monday morning. Freaking A. So I tried to heat this thing up, and then I got some vice grips clamped onto there, and I was trying to get it to spin. Of course, the thing's burning the living hell out of me. I pounded some screwdrivers into the workbench here to help stop this thing from turning, which actually worked pretty well. I mean, it didn't work and then it did work, but either way, the vice grips just wasn't working. It just kept spinning on there, and it was making the surface of the bolt that's sticking out just getting smaller and smaller. So I decided to give up, and here we go. We got to freaking weld nuts onto this thing. So I got that thing welded on there. I got it welded on there really good. But yeah. 3, 2, 1. So I have a theory here. You guys know how metal likes to expand whenever you get it really hot. I think what's happening is I just welded that nut on there. The bolt portion that's broken off is really hot, and it's expanding in there, making it tighter. So what I did this time was I went ahead and I let it cool down a little bit, flipped it over and sprayed some WD-40 on there to help it cool and hopefully lubricate it a little bit. And then I heated the pressure plate itself around the bolt, hoping that the metal of the pressure plate will expand, not as much as the actual bolt itself. And that seemed to be working because, bow, we got it out. All right, one down, one more to go. And since I haven't taken a set of vice grips to this one yet, I'm not even gonna try that, dude. I'm just gonna weld it. I actually have a nut here that will screw onto it. And then we can just weld the top of that guy so that they are one. And then we're gonna reverse this thing out through the backside since the head is broken off of it. Alright, so I have another bolt here that is the same thread pitch and everything. These are M8 by 1.25, I believe it was. I grabbed one out of my bin over there that is the same thread pitch and everything, so I'm going to use that to just kind of chase the threads and make sure they're clean. Using some lubricant inside of there, and going to do it by hand, not with a damn impact. Now they all... Freaking noob over here kicking the camera. Now they all screw in by hand, in and out. So yeah, much better, much better. Honestly, I should have did this before I even, you know, like I was just in the in the groove, dude. I was trying to put it all together, and really I should have just pulled the flywheel off and cleaned all the threads and then put all the bolts in by hand and lubricated them, run them in and out before even putting the clutch on. I should have done that, but I just, you know, sometimes you just get in a hurry and you're just trying to get something done. Honestly, I wasn't expecting this to happen, or else I would have, obviously. Because now it's cost me so much more time than what it would have if I'd have just taken my time. And that's where the saying comes in. I used to say this all the time. Sometimes slower is faster. All right? All right. Anyhow, now I need to go through my bin over there to see if I can find some more pressure plate bolts. I might have some of these 12-point M8 by 1.25 bolts over there in my bin. If I do, then hell yeah. If not, then we're gonna have to take the transmission off of the old B20. All right, so I've literally spent all day on this. Not even counting the time that I took to drop the transmission and all that stuff. I just called all the Honda dealerships and Acura near me. None of them have pressure plate bolts in stock. Like, all of them are special order, and they're gonna be here Wednesday or Thursday. And I'm like, okay, never mind. I guess I'll just order them off of Amazon, in which I am. I have a set right here, 6-piece transmission clutch pressure plate bolts. It's for overnight shipping, so that's what I'm gonna have to do, man. That and I'm gonna order the boxes that I need in order to ship those big deadbeat stickers. I found the perfect size box. So I tried to get just the freaking pressure plate bolts, and you know how Amazon is. I had to spend another $6.80 in order to get overnight shipping. So I spent another $24 on shipping material. What can I say? Anyhow, proceed to checkout. Man, proceed to checkout. I hate this little pop-up. I always click continued or back to cart on accident. Always do that. Continue to check out, you sucker. Look at that there, buddy. Your boy is spending $47.12 tomorrow between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. Yes, sir. Place order. All right, there we go. We have freaking bolts on the way. So I went through, Jessica and I went through my bolt bin over there looking to see if I had any. And like I mentioned, I do have some on the clutch that's inside of Kaki's old engine, but really, I don't want to tear that apart right now, dude. Besides, I think it'd be better just to go ahead and put new bolts, and yeah, screw it. But we did find bolts that fit. It's just, the issue is these are not like pressure plate bolts. I would assume that they are the correct grade. Like, they're probably grade 8 or larger. I don't know, man. They do work, but they don't have that 12-point head. They just have a 6-point head, which I don't think is a problem. It has a big head on it, even bigger than the bolt that's supposed to go in there. But another issue is the fact that it's a little longer. You see that? And I just don't want to run into a problem with that, dude. And I don't want one of you guys, whoever ends up winning the car, to end up running into an issue with that. So I'm just going to do it right. But you know what that means? That means putting a clutch on this car is going to be a 2-part video. I mean, what can I do? You know? You guys know me. My content is relatable. You know what I'm saying? And these are the kind of problems that we run into. So I just ordered those. They'll be here tomorrow. We're going to pick back up on this then. But right now, I actually want to put the sticker on the back. You know, I just freaking realized that is crooked as hell. How did that happen? Over there to the, yeah, that's definitely crooked. The D is so much closer to that line than it is on this side. No worries, man. I'll put a new one on there. Just have to go in there and grab another one. We have a bunch of them. So if you guys want one of those, we are going to have them up on the website by the time you are seeing this video. And you know what? I'll make it even sweeter, man. Anybody who purchases one of these larger deadbeat stickers, since this is the last week, this is the 100% last week for the giveaway. As of today, you only have 7 days left to enter. Anybody who grabs one of those stickers, I'm gonna make that thing double entries. Hey, how much are we gonna put those big stickers up for, babe? Or we can do 25, and it'll be 10 entries because they're double entries. All right, so we are putting them up for $25 because obviously we have to buy boxes to ship those, and they're pretty large stickers, so it's a lot of material. You know, either way, man, we're putting them up for 25 bucks, so that's 5 entries at $5 an entry. And since it is double entries, you get 10 entries for just one of those stickers. So make sure to grab one. If you guys haven't already gotten entered, make sure you do, because you only have 7 days left. And hell, if you've already gotten entered, it doesn't hurt to get some more entries, you know? The more stuff you purchase, every $5 you spend gets you another entry towards the K24 Swapped EP3, which is gonna have a brand new clutch. And you know what I'm thinking? If I can get it done in time, I wanna get the clutch in here, and I'm thinking about taking the EP3 and the Blazer out and see which one wins in a race. Of course, the Blazer off nitrous. I'm not going to use nitrous. K24 EP3 versus the LS Swap Blazer. Which one wins motor to motor? But I got to get those bolts in. I got to get the freaking clutch back in, and I got to figure out who it is I'm going to have drive the EP3. I don't know if I'm going to have Braven do it, or hell, maybe see if Curly is down, or both of them. But ain't nobody driving my damn Blazer. Can't have the steering shaft coming off on anybody else. Good Lord. Later. The time is here. This is the last week to get entered for the K24 Swapped EP3. Giveaway ends on the 18th, so if you haven't gotten your entries, now's the time to do it, because this is the last week. I have more shirts available on the website than I have ever had before, and I just released a ginormous sticker. A lot of people have been asking for a larger sticker, so I have one up on the website. I've literally put it on almost all of my vehicles now. This sticker is only going to be available for the last week of the giveaway, and it is double entry. Stack them up while you can. You're not going to want to miss out on this.